From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at Noon, streaming now.
We are getting very close to knowing who the next president will be. The Democratic challenger to President Trump appears to be taking a lead in a key state that is insurmountable. Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us. Joe Biden appears to be inching closer to the presidency. Today, the former vice president took the lead in the vote count over President Trump in a state that could give Biden enough electoral votes to clinch the presidency. ABC's Faith Abube tells us Biden also may have pulled off a win in a state that has long been loyal to Republicans.
President Trump's lead of hundreds of thousands of votes on election night in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the red state of Georgia now evaporated. Joe Biden taking leads in both states overnight. Georgia has not voted for a Democratic presidential candidate since Bill Clinton in 1992.
The election apparatus in Georgia is run by Democrats.
That's actually not true. Georgia has a Republican governor, and the Secretary of State there who oversees elections is also a Republican who was endorsed by President Trump.
The focus for our office and for the county election officials for now remains on making sure that every legal vote is counted and recorded accurately.
A win in Georgia would place Biden one electoral vote short of the presidency. But the prize that would put Biden over the top is Pennsylvania and its 20 electoral college votes. Biden currently is projected to have 253 electoral votes, and 270 are needed to win the White House. If Biden ultimately wins Pennsylvania, Donald Trump won't have the votes to be reelected.
If you count the legal votes, I easily win.
The president has provided no proof of voter fraud, and 3 legal challenges that have been brought were tossed out of court. Pennsylvania Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman.
The math that currently remains in front of us doesn't bode well for the president, and the closer it gets, I think you're going to see more and more of that kind of incendiary misinformation.
Joe Biden's team is increasingly confident, calling for patience as all the votes were counted.
I ask everyone to stay calm, all the people to stay calm. The process is working.
And Georgia's race might be headed for a recount, but the Republican Secretary of State says generally recounts don't change much. In Washington, Faith Abube, ABC News.
Faith, thank you. And we are keeping an eye up on every development in the race for the White House. At our election website, you can see all of the latest results and news, plus results from all of the other elections this week at WRTV.com/election 2020. Now to your forecast, meteorologist Todd KLAASSEN standing by, and Todd, is starting to feel better and better outside as we kick off the weekend.
You know, it's absolutely beautiful out there, Nicole, and it's going to continue not only through this afternoon, but for several more days. Very rare for that to happen in November, when you can string several 70-degree days in a row together. And when you throw in the sunshine, it's even better. Here's a live look in Bloomington right now, and you can see all the sunshine there across the campus of IU, and that's the way it's going to look here throughout the entire day. That is the good news. And as far as temperatures go, we are looking at temperatures right now that are sitting in the 60s in most locations, as we get up to about 66 degrees right now in Peru, 67 in Indy, 69 is the current temperature in Muncie, and these temperatures will continue to warm. There may be a few fair weather clouds in northern locations that may filter in here this afternoon, but otherwise the main cloud and storm track is going to stay well to our north. So get out there and enjoy the temperatures. Should be about 72 degrees shortly after 2 o'clock there, and then by 4 o'clock back down to 69 degrees. If you do have plans this Friday evening, just know, even though it's nice and mild right now, as soon as the sun sets, it will cool off very quickly. So I'd recommend having a light jacket handy, especially if you're going to be eating outdoors later on tonight. More on that warm weekend forecast for you coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you. For the second consecutive day, Indiana has set a single-day record for new COVID-19 cases. The state health department reported 4,714 new cases today. That's also the second straight day the state has gone over 4,000 positive tests. 37 new deaths were also reported. That pushes Indiana past 4,300 deaths since the pandemic began. The number of COVID-19 patients in hospitals also reached a new record. More than 2,000 Hoosiers are now being treated for the virus at hospitals across the state. Several schools across central Indiana are changing their schedules because of the surge of COVID-19 cases in our state. Today was an e-learning day for all Greenwood middle and high school students. On Monday, those students will begin a hybrid learning schedule. Elementary students will not be affected and will still remain in the classroom 5 days a week. Franklin Community Schools will move to phase 2 of their hybrid schedule for the middle school and high school starting on Monday. Also on Monday, hybrid learning models will begin at the middle school and high schools in Indian Creek and Edinburgh. Also, Clark Pleasant Middle School will move to a temporary hybrid model as well. And students at Greenfield-Central High School will remain on a hybrid schedule for at least 1 more week. The high school had planned to have students come back to the classroom 4 days a week beginning this past Monday. However, that plan was put on hold by the school's principal due to the rise in cases and in the positivity rate. Now Greenfield-Central will hold off on the change for at least 1 more week. The school says it will evaluate the level of classes and its plan for the student schedule next week. Starting on Monday, Bartholomew County schools will move to an e-learning model. This will last through Tuesday, November 24th. That is the last day before Thanksgiving break. In a statement, the district says the spread of COVID-19 in the community is making it difficult to continue normal operating procedures like staffing buildings and providing bus routes. The plan as of now is to return to in-person and remote learning options on Monday, the 30th. The rise in cases is also forcing ZIONSVILLE to take action. The town says it will close ZIONSVILLE Town Hall to the public beginning this coming Monday. Members of the public will only be allowed inside Town Hall with an appointment, and visitors will be required to undergo a health screening before going inside. The town says most ZIONSVILLE services can be accessed online by phone or email. ZIONSVILLE also says it will add portable toilets to the town hall parking lot for people using the town's rail trail. Why is COVID-19 spiking so much? Coming up next, we get answers on the pandemic from Marion County's top doctor, Todd.
And Nicole, temperatures are running anywhere from about 10 to 20 degrees above average, not only here in central Indiana, but across much of the Midwest. And that means in the coming days, not much is going to change here locally. It's going to be a great November weekend for us. We'll detail it for you coming up when the news at noon continues right here on WRTV.
There are a lot of reasons the COVID-19 pandemic is getting worse all across Indiana. That is according to the top public health leader in Indianapolis. She spoke to our Rafael Sanchez today on Good Morning Indiana.
Dr. Virginia Kane with the Marion County Health Department, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Rafael, for having me.
We are seeing a spike in the number of COVID-19 cases in Marion County, the capital city. The numbers are going in the wrong direction. What is going on?
You're having more individuals from this process going on so long, they're less likely to be wearing their masks or doing their 6 feet social distancing when they're out in public. But we're also starting to see more smaller gatherings. So like within different families, households, so you might have 5 or 10 family members that are coming over. And because they're in such close proximity and they're there for a while, and they're less likely to wear a mask when they're visiting their parents or go visiting an aunt or relatives, we are starting to see more infections that are occurring as a result of that.
Obviously, that we're seeing an unintended consequence. What do we do?
Well, I think it's really tough because unfortunately, about 40% of our Hoosiers are asymptomatic. They feel great. They don't have any fevers, so they are unaware that they're infected. And so you're less likely to worry about a family member or a relative coming into your household or in your social network. You spend a lot of time with different people, but now because our numbers are increasing from a community spread, we really have to, I hate to say this, you may have family dinner and all the relatives come on over Sunday. In order to spend time with folks, we need to really reduce having outside members of our household, prevent them from visiting us But if they are visiting family members, they need to be wearing masks inside the homes and doing the 6 feet distancing.
Dr. Kane and Raphael, thank you so much. Coming up tonight on the news at 5 o'clock, Dr. Kane talks about how to handle the holiday season during the pandemic and how to keep your friends and loved ones safe. Some hospitals across Indiana are starting to run out of room. Next, how they are handling the problem and how exhausted medical workers are struggling to cope. And Todd will be back with your full forecast as we kick off a beautiful weekend. You're watching the news at noon right here on WRTV. The spike in COVID cases across the state is impacting the health of Hoosiers, and it's also causing more problems at local hospitals. At IU Health, they are not only seeing an increase in patients, they are also facing staffing shortages and workers who are fatigued. Dr. Mark Luchtemeier is the chief medical officer with IU Health Methodist and University Hospitals. He tells us the current state of things is difficult because there seems to be more of a disconnect about the severity of the virus compared to the first wave.
And that's what I worry about from a burnout and from a wellness standpoint is, we can keep up a pace for a short period of time, much harder to do that over a long run. And this marathon just hasn't stopped. So if you think about the life of a hospital cycles throughout the year. So sometimes you're busy, sometimes you're not as busy. We know respiratory viral season in the wintertime, we're prepared to be busy. But sometimes during the summer months, you have that option to take some time away, to recoup and refresh. We didn't have that opportunity this year.
The doctor says you can help ease the strain on hospitals and help save lives simply by wearing a mask, social distancing, and avoiding social gatherings. There are many places around the state where you can get tested for COVID-19. To find a testing location near you, just go to our website, WRTV.com, and click on this story under our coronavirus resources section. There you can find the location of testing sites by county. Now to your forecast, meteorologist Todd KLAASSEN standing by. Todd, I was walking back into work. I'm like, is it really November? This feels amazing outside.
You know, it really does, and I know I've been saying it a lot, like a broken record the past day or two, but you really need to get outside and take advantage of these days. It's pretty rare to string 5-6 days of 60-degree weather in a row together, so it's even more rare to string 70-degree temperatures together for this long of a period of time, but that's exactly what we're in the process of doing. Live look in Bloomington right now shows the sunshine that is out there. The temperature that currently is up to 67 degrees in Indianapolis. Just a light breeze out of the southwest at 10 miles per hour, but it's that southerly wind that's helping to keep our temperatures well above normal. 71 in Bedford right now, 68 in Bloomington, 69 in Muncie, 68 is the current temperature in Greencastle. And these temperatures, they'll go up another couple degrees here for afternoon highs. That'll be topping off in the low 70s across the area. About 72 in Indy, 73 will be the high temperature in Columbus. As far as the sky cover goes, there could be a few fair weather clouds later on this evening that are going to kind of spill in from the north, but overall we are just basically looking at a mostly sunny and quiet and calm afternoon, exactly what we want at the end of the work week here. And as we look ahead to Friday evening, some of you may have high school football, some of you may be going out to dinner outside, some of you may be grilling outside at your home, and the weather's going to cooperate for anything. Just know that once the sun sets, temperatures will start to cool off into the 50s as we get into the 7-8 o'clock hour and then beyond. Here is your weekend forecast, and these are not typos. 72 with mostly sunny skies on Saturday, mostly sunny on Sunday, a high of 75. The record high on Sunday is 76. That's very much in jeopardy for us. And the record high on Monday is also 76 degrees, and that is in jeopardy as well. In fact, some areas, I wouldn't be shocked on both Sunday and Monday that we could potentially get to 80 degrees across the area. Both those records from Sunday and Monday, for Sunday and Monday rather, are set back in 1999. The change comes in on Tuesday, and that's when the cold front is going to come through. And you see the cool off with the temperatures as you get into Wednesday down to 58 degrees. So this cold front's going to come through. As it does, look for a round of showers, maybe a few thunderstorms, something we'll have to keep an eye on for you. And then once that front goes through, we'll return to more seasonable levels, which are in the mid to upper 50s for this time of year. So So bonus territory at least through Tuesday afternoon, then around to showers and storms, and then it is back to normal. But overall, just a great forecast here for the first full weekend, Nicole, of November across the area. So remember what I told you. I know you're going to be hearing it all weekend long in your ear. Go outside and enjoy this nice weather.
All right, Todd, looks good. Thank you so much. The old saying is that if it looks too good to be true, well, it probably is. Tim Maniscalco with the Better Business Bureau has more on what you should do if you see something fancy online at an incredibly low price.
We've seen a large increase in these online purchase scams. And the way these scams work is someone will create a website and they will offer products at just incredibly reduced prices. Sometimes they're designer goods or expensive electronics, but we've seen just regular sorts of household items, things like toilet paper and cleaning items, things like that, for just unbelievably low prices. It's the price that gets people interested, and the way these scams work is that you're going to pay your money, and either you're not going to get the good, or whatever comes is not going to be a very good quality. For instance, you're not going to get a Louis Vuitton purse for $75. You know, if it comes, it's going to be some sort of very poor quality knockoff. So during COVID, since we were spending so much time on our computers in front of our screens, the scammers know this, and they're sending a lot of these online purchase scams out. So just be very, very wary. A couple of things to look out for. If you see misspelled words or sort of awkward English, that's a real tip-off. Most of these online purchase scams, the websites, come from people outside the country, and they're not particularly used to using the English language. So a lot of times there can be misspellings or awkward sorts of grammar in them. Also, look for the HTTPS. S is the important letter up in the URL bar. And always pay with your credit card. You have the most protection with a credit card. So lots of these online purchase scams. A lot of them are going to be showing up now since the holiday shopping is starting to emerge. And also, we're doing just a lot more shopping. So just be very, very careful of these online purchase scams. Don't be caught by a price that looks like it's too good to be true, because it probably is too good to be true.
All right, Tim, good advice. Thank you so much. Well, you can find out more about this scam at the Better Business Bureau's website. That's bbb.org. Here's another live look outside. Todd will be back with one more check of your weekend forecast when we come back. You're watching the news at noon right here on WRTV.
All right, a beautiful stretch of weather as we've been talking about, with lots of sunshine, not only for today, but all the way through the weekend. We'll have the sunny skies, and it actually even gets warmer as we progress through the weekend. Sunday and Monday, right around record high territory. The record high for both days, 76 degrees. So the potential to break that either day. The overnight lows in the 50s. So you will need the jacket if you do have plans this weekend in the evening hours, because once the sun sets, it will cool off. Just keep that in mind. Tuesday is the transition day. The cold front looks like it's not going to come through until at this point 6-7 o'clock. So still up into the 70s before that rain arrives. But once that front goes through, it's a reality check and back to normal. 58 as our average high this time of year. That's where we get to on Wednesday and Thursday. But just some spotty showers, Nicole, lingering into Wednesday morning.
All right, Todd, looks like a great weekend to get outside. Thank you so much. And thank you for joining us. News at 5. Join us this afternoon.